We live in an era of constant advances. From artificial intelligence to space exploration, the idea of progress has become a defining feature of our species. But does this truly mean evolution? Looking at all we've achieved, we might wonder if the world is truly better for everyone, or if we've merely refined old problems in new ways. After all, what does it mean to evolve in a context as complex as humanity? Throughout history, we've taken pride in our accomplishments. Yet behind the innovations and modern comforts lies an essential question. Are we truly evolving? Or are we just creating a progressive illusion that, at its core, reflects our limitations? Questions like these lead us to reconsider what we view as advancement. And what if we're just replacing old problems with new ones, hidden under a veneer of modernity? In this journey, we'll explore progress from different perspectives: scientific, philosophical, and spiritual. Each offers insights, yet none provides a definitive answer. After all, human evolution may be much more than just technology or material well-being. Perhaps by examining each viewpoint, we can understand if what we call progress is truly the path to a fuller life. So let's question together: is humanity really evolving? Science has been the driving force behind some of the greatest changes in recent history. From medicine to digital technologies, our advances seem to confirm that we are in constant evolution. However, it's crucial to understand that science describes evolution as a biological adaptation process aimed at survival, not at a societal progress ideal. In nature, evolution simply means becoming better equipped for survival, without a notion of moral or ethical improvement. When we talk about human evolution in scientific terms, we refer to a slow, impersonal process. Our DNA has changed very little over the last thousands of years. Our biology still holds primitive instincts, like the desire for competition and a tendency to form hierarchies. So, where does the scientific concept of progress come in? Through technology, we seem to expand our capacities, yet these advancements often reveal new vulnerabilities and create problems that didn't exist before. Examples like global warming and social inequalities reflect how technology can be a double-edged sword. Science has given us the means to extract resources on a large scale and achieve unprecedented productivity, but at a tremendous environmental and social cost. Our notion of progress, then, may be distorted when we confuse technological advances with human evolution. Could we really say we are better than we were before? Scientific progress, while undeniable, shows itself insufficient to answer existential questions. After all, creating world-changing technologies also raises ethical dilemmas that challenge our morality. To what extent does our material advancement reflect real evolution? Considering this, we begin to question whether we're ready for the dilemmas we've created ourselves. Does science have something to teach us about what it means to evolve? Or does it simply reflect our ability to explore the world around us? These reflections lead us to an important point. Perhaps humanity's evolution lies not in technologies, but in how we handle their consequences. It is at this threshold that philosophy enters the scene, offering a new lens to view the idea of progress, a lens that challenges and complements scientific understanding. Philosophy has questioned the idea of progress as positive and constant for centuries. Thinkers like Rousseau and Nietzsche warned us of unchecked progress. Rousseau saw modern civilization as a departure from a purer state, more in harmony with nature. He believed society turned what could be a simple life into an endless cycle of needs, where we seek more than we need, distancing ourselves from our essence. Nietzsche, in turn, thought modernity weakened the human spirit. In his view, progress brought comfort, but also extinguished the strength and vigor necessary to face life authentically. For him, modern societies created a herd mentality, where people follow pre-established norms and values without question. Here, technological progress doesn't signify evolution, but rather a form of domestication. Contemporary philosopher Adorno also critiqued progress as an absolute ideal. He saw material progress as misleading, believing technology and rampant consumerism reinforced inequality and suffering. To him, progress only served to legitimize exploitative systems, making people slaves to a promise of well-being that often goes unfulfilled. At its core, philosophy exposes progress as an illusion of happiness and security. These philosophical reflections point to a harsh reality. Material evolution may not make us better people. Advancement might lead us away from deeper values and the pursuit of purpose. Philosophy questions whether we are truly progressing or simply swapping old problems for others, perhaps more complex and insidious. Is happiness found in accumulating achievements and relentlessly pursuing more? Or are we distancing ourselves from what truly matters? While science pushes us forward, philosophy warns of the dangers of confusing material progress with inner growth. Here lies a paradox. The more we try to evolve materially, the further we move from authentic, lasting happiness. This philosophical critique of progress invites us to reflect on whether, in moving forward, we're actually losing our essence. And it's in this conflict between the material and spiritual that religion offers a new perspective. For many religions, the idea of human progress doesn't limit itself to the material. Instead, true evolution is seen as a spiritual journey. Unlike science and philosophy, which often question or reject a higher purpose, religions offer a narrative seeking to give existence meaning. Whether in Christianity, Islam, or Buddhism, progress is viewed as a path of self-knowledge and moral growth, where each being aligns with a higher purpose. The religious perspective reminds us that, while we strive for material advancement, we may be neglecting something essential. For many traditions, real progress involves spiritual and moral development, a search that transcends the physical world and the limits of the human body. The concept of spiritual evolution is seen as much deeper than any material accomplishment, a process that brings us closer to a divine essence or complete understanding of the inner self. While some religions view material progress as part of divine benevolence, others warn of the dangers of seeking status and power. In Buddhism, for instance, attachment to material goods and endless desire for achievements are seen as sources of suffering. True evolution, from this perspective, is found by releasing these attachments and reaching a state of inner peace. In a society focused on tangible results, this message stands as a powerful counterpoint. Addressing progress from this angle, religion suggests our species' evolution will only be complete when we embrace both material and spiritual paths. This view challenges us to rethink our priorities, asking if what we seek in life truly brings the happiness and purpose we yearn for. And if humanity's evolution isn't about what we achieve, but about who we become? This reflection prepares us for a new approach, one that sees progress as an illusion, but offers an optimistic answer. Nihilism as an invitation to acceptance. Optimistic nihilism arises as an answer for those who view material and spiritual progress with skepticism. Unlike traditional views, it suggests that perhaps there is no greater purpose to our existence, and that this doesn't have to be negative. Instead of seeking a cosmic meaning, optimistic nihilism encourages us to find value in the small, daily experiences. So, even if progress is an illusion, we can still create meaning in our lives. This perspective frees us from the pressure to constantly pursue external or internal evolution. By accepting that life may not have intrinsic purpose, optimistic nihilism urges us to focus on simple things: relationships, moments of peace, personal achievements. The absence of a higher goal ceases to be a source of despair and becomes an opportunity for freedom. Without the weight of progress as an obligation, we live more authentically. The optimistic nihilist perspective acknowledges that human accomplishments, though impressive, may not bring real satisfaction. Instead of pursuing an idea of evolution, we can focus on building a better world through small daily actions without expecting a grand reward or universal recognition. For the optimistic nihilist, it's not about changing the world, but finding value in the small gestures that define our humanity. Embracing this approach also means accepting human flaws and limitations, recognizing that our problems won't be solved by an illusory concept of progress. Instead, we can reconnect with our human condition, accepting it with compassion and humility. This perspective creates a curious paradox. Even by discarding the idea of evolution, we still pursue a type of growth, but now focused on the present and what truly matters. In the end, optimistic nihilism invites us to see life as it is, with its complexities and contradictions, but also with beauty. This acceptance paves the way for a form of personal evolution that doesn't depend on grand material or spiritual achievements. Now, with this reflection, we arrive at the moment of concluding our journey, questioning what it truly means to progress, or if we even need to evolve to be happy. We've reached the end of this journey, yet the question remains: are we really evolving as a species, or are we deceiving ourselves with the idea of progress? We explored science, which drives us materially, but doesn't answer existential questions. Philosophy warns of the dangers of hollow progress, while religion offers a spiritual perspective that transcends the physical. Finally, optimistic nihilism suggests that perhaps we don't need a greater purpose to find meaning. The conclusion we reach depends on how we choose to define evolution. If we see it only in material and technological terms, perhaps we are progressing. However, this limited view may not bring genuine happiness or lasting purpose. By viewing evolution as an inner process involving self-knowledge and acceptance, we find a type of progress that is not measured by technological advances, but by our ability to fully live in the present. Ultimately, the idea of progress may be a human construct, something we created to fill a void, to give meaning to what we don't understand. Perhaps, instead of endlessly seeking external advancement, we should focus on understanding and accepting who we are now. After all, what do we gain by chasing an unattainable ideal if it only distances us from our essence, bringing us anxiety and despair? True evolution, then, may lie in embracing our limitations and complexities, accepting that life doesn't need a grand purpose to be meaningful. Happiness may be found in discovering beauty amid chaos and simplicity, in building an authentic life without the constant pressure of progress. This acceptance allows us to live more lightly, enjoying small joys without needing to justify each step as part of a larger evolution. We conclude here, but the reflection continues. Do we really need progress to be happy? Or can happiness and purpose exist not in the relentless pursuit of the next step, but in appreciating what we already have? I leave this question for you, viewer, to reflect on and share. After all, what does it mean to evolve for you?